Yo, what's good everybody? We're back with another smoke video for strategies. So last week, or a few days ago actually, we did mute. So you guys can go back and check those ones out. We just go over some strategies. It's going to be the same format. I'm going to go into these maps, give you the most useful strats for these operators. This time we're just doing smoke. So mute and smoke. Not so much talking about the basics. If you guys want to see the basics, just check out the operator mastery series. That's all the basic stuff on all of these operators. But with that being said, let's get into the first strategy here. We're going to start on Oregon. So as always, we're going to start off with just Oregon here. I'm just going to try to get through about 6, 7, 8 of these maybe. Just the best ones I can think of. I'm not giving you one for every single map per se, but I'm giving you the ones that have worked for me. Some of these are more common, some of these are more advanced, but we're going to start with Oregon basement. It's really just to give you an idea of how you should be playing smoke. It's not so much like the end all be all. You must use these strategies, but it should give you some ideas of how to set up other sites and what you should be thinking of. So we're going to start off with a common one, the full setup. So we're going to want to reinforce this wall right here, and we're going to bust through and get into the blue / construction area, because this is the area that, I mean, if you've played this map in pretty much any single rank, you probably have seen this strategy, but it's ran incorrectly a lot of the time. So the first thing is, of course, just to do this, and of course set your shield somewhere, just anywhere where it's basically this way. It does not particularly matter where it's at. I like to leave a little bit of an area here so I could quick peek from basically any way that I want to. I could even come from this wall right here. But the thing we need for this setup to succeed, because this is a common area where people are going to be coming in hot, we're going to need a lot of Wamai and Jaegers. So if you do have the luxury of having both of those, you're going to want to put Wamais pretty much everywhere. You're going to want to put them away from the Jaegers. Obviously the ADSs, you don't want them anywhere near each other, so you're going to want to put one per se here. I like to put my ADSs right around here off center, right? So the only way they can get them is to come over here and go like that and get into my line of sight, which should be here, preferably the shield over just a little bit, but you get the point. Next thing is we're going to want the other ADSs helping us over here. So we're going to want to put them either like on the floor right around here. Due to the cooldown, we're going to need more ADSs for the strategy to work. So whenever you're running the strategy, you just got to get the Jaeger on board. And if you get a Wamai as well, then you're double, you're doing pretty well for yourself. And then as for the rest of the strategy, this needs to be reinforced. This needs to be reinforced. You could have a shield right here and someone playing it. That would not hurt. It would just basically prevent them from ever even pushing into the blue room or even construction at all, because they would be way too scared. And now for the actual strategy part of this, when they actually start pushing in. So when they start pushing in, guys, what's going to happen is they're going to be throwing a lot of stuff. So if we have ADSs everywhere, Wamai up here, 1 ADS here, 2 ADSs over here, just for example, they're going to burn a lot of utility just to get to you, and even include the Wamai too. So they throw one nade, it shoots up here, that goes bye-bye. Another Wamai's right here, they shoot another thing, so we're at 2 utility taken. At that point, then they're starting to shoot things over here, another part of their utility taken, and then you have 2 more over here, and then this one recharges, so you could basically destroy all their utility. Now the point of the strategy is just to fend them off as long as possible while burning most of their utility. Once you do burn most of their utility, or at least you think you do, and you are being pretty much pushed out of this, if they destroy the shield, then it's very simple. But if they don't, you just want to pick up the shield whenever they're not obviously pushing, or if they back off and run back out blue because they are too scared. And then you're just going to come up here, patch up the wall, and reset into this site, because now they can't really push this. You've already burnt all their utility, so they can't get these walls. They can't get these walls. You're pretty much set on this end. So now we could play a different angle to cover pretty much the rest of the map. And then this will be open right here, because every team opens a rotation hole right around here. So if they don't, you could just open that for yourself. But I like to set up my shield just somewhere around this area, because this has no real good viewpoints, I guess, because you have to peek like this, or just do something that I would rather not do. So I just like to create my shield here if I have the luxury. If not, oh well. But I don't put it in this room because there's plenty of boxes to work around and other things to work around. At this point, we're just going to be waiting until wherever they push, use our smokes, and of course it should be a pretty easy round win as long as you play this correctly and push them so they can't push construction. If you can't push construction on this site, things get a lot harder. As long as your team doesn't all die off and you get to keep your shield, well, there's really no reason you should ever lose this objective as a defender, especially if you pair this with like a Mira or anything like that. So this could be a really good solo strat or a duo strat if you have a Jaeger, or even if you are a solo. and can get a Jaeger to put the ADSs where you need them. But yeah, that is our first strategy, and that one is on Oregon. All right, we're gonna head into Coastline now. So for all those people that were asking in the last one, there were a few comments I saw. They were saying, could you show this in a real game as well? Well, I would only be able to show like 2 or 3 strats in the time that I want to spend on these, like 15-20 minutes of actual video. It takes much longer to make them, but I want the videos to sit between like 15 to 20, 25 minutes maybe max. So if I did that on every single one, 5 minutes to show it in game or 3 minutes to show it in this custom, just how to set it up, and then another 3.5 minute round, that would be one long ass video. So I choose to do it this way instead. You guys should get the point. You could see it for yourself in game once you use it. I just promised that I actually have used these in game, and these are the ones that I use, and that's why I'm showing them to you. So we're moving on to billiards and hookah, which is over here. We have the standard rotation hole, and our setup is going to be over here. This is one that has been abused in the past. I like to put my deployable right where they can't really shoot it from the window too good, because that is your biggest worry here, is because of this window right here. You don't want anyone being able to shoot anything really into it, at least from the castle way out here. It's okay if they get their head onto this window, because you could just take their head off, but from the castle out there, you don't want someone to be able to have a direct line of sight to your deployable. So I like to place it somewhere around here. This needs to be reinforced right here. These two always need to be reinforced. I would highly recommend these being reinforced every time, both of these, but I'm just gonna do that one for example, because you don't want anyone having a line of sight through here. If someone has an ash charge or something and it comes right through here, then you're kind of screwed. Next thing you want to do, of course, have the rotation hole there, but we also need kind of our Kobe type smoke grenade. This is something we'll have to practice a lot. And then I like to reinforce the middle one. Doesn't really matter too much though. As long as you know where to throw it, you'll still be able to get it deep into this corner, which we're going to show those common plant spots. So the common plant spots all are usually around this edge right here. So if they get into hookah, this is a good way to retake it, just by cobing right over here and landing it right anywhere around here and then smoking them out. Now, that's how you defend hookah. If they get any deeper into the site, you probably already lost a round, so it doesn't really matter. So this is kind of the area you got to look out for. And then as for this area, people like to plant anywhere around here. They smoke out here, and then they get behind this box and plant, right? And that's just a very easy counter. So there's been a lot of exploits in the past where you could just throw a smoke grenade up like in this corner, right? And then just let it go, and then it smokes through. And that's just, you know, it works, but it's very broken right now. I think it's kind of scummy. Smoke grenades shouldn't be able to go through solid concrete walls, or at least solid walls in general, but it does work throwing it up in that corner, and it still does work. They were supposed to take that out a while ago. But another thing that works if no one's over here, that'll always work, it's just throwing something simply at the roof and smoking it out. Same difference, just this way is super duper safe, because you're still behind your shield, still behind this little table thing, which by the way is pretty much unbreakable. So that's a quick, easy way to counter billiards push, and of course the hookah push. Something I would recommend though is go into a custom and I just used all my smokes, dang it, but you gotta practice this throw. Okay, practice this throw from here all the way to the deep corner. You're going to want to be able to land it anywhere around here. Then you should be good. So a quick setup over here is just putting your shield right around where I put it. Align it with these barrels. Put it here just so you could hide here if you need to. But this is a nice area. Then do a reinforcement here. This prevents you from getting shot if you're hanging out around here. And then a reinforcement on this side. This is just kind of common. You usually do want one here. And then I like to make a bullet holes all the way across the top. This is easy to throw smokes to the common plant area, which is right here and basically anywhere over here. This is where you usually see someone planting for them, or someone tries to run in here and plant, but that person should be dead anyways, as long as your team's not garbage. Or they come in through this kitchen area, plant somewhere over here, smoke grenade it out. And sometimes if it's late round, they just try to get in and plant somewhere, anywhere where they're just not gonna get shot from immediately. They can come here, or a place that I've been seeing a lot of is right around here. People like to come up on this table, just get the diffuser down, and this is all of those are easily counterable just by anything over here. So you could throw a smoke grenade into this deep corner, you throw one over here, and of course you can do the same smoke glitch that we showed upstairs right here. You have to aim for the top seal right here and then detonate it, and it'll go through this roof, I guess is how it works, and then it comes over here and it smokes this whole little area off. Lastly, to throw your smoke over here, you're going to want to come up here. don't have all my smokes, but you're gonna want to come up here, aim basically for the top of this wooden place with the top of your crosshair, and then shoot this over. This should always land on the top right where this bullet is, anywhere around here, and then you could detonate it off anywhere. As always, practice all of these right here, and the only place you need to really worry about in this site is if someone pushes bathroom. All you do is come up here, one pump, or if someone comes above you and actually starts breaking everything open, because then you might have a problem. But just practice this one. This one's really powerful, especially in plat. I haven't seen it work higher than that because this is the issue. All right, now on my favorite map, Clubhouse. So Cache CC, this is actually one of my least favorite sites, but I still do love this map. Just the attacking and defending of it's so smooth. It's just that it's very predictable, which is a good thing on defense because everything's going to come through this wall. They're going to bring Thermite, Ace, Habana, whatever the hell they need to get through this, Thatcher and all, and they're going to get through this wall, and they're most likely going to plant somewhere over here or somewhere over here. It's anywhere basically behind here. It's usually where they end up planting. If they don't do that, then they're going to do a construction push, which is a very easy thing to defend. So the best setup is for this is to have a rotational here, have a bunch of weird holes here, but specifically this one that, hold up, I had to shoot that to make it look like I'm not going to get demonetized. All right, as for where you're going to be playing, you're going to be playing around this green box right here. So a good deployable spot is right here, is where I would put one, but you don't really necessarily need it, so I don't always recommend putting it here. I actually have another strategy here. I would not put it on red. I see people put it on red and I'm like, why are you doing that? First of all, it can just get naded through this usually if you place it like up anywhere, and right here you should just have a Jaeger playing anywhere, basically Jaeger, barbed wire, just have a bunch of stuff right here, and this should hold down this area at least. A lot of barbed wire over here, but this is kind of your retreat area. If everything goes wrong in here, this is your last place that you can retreat and still have an angle to everything. But another place that I would actually put my deployable is right here to protect the person on rafters. This isn't going to be you. You shouldn't play rafters with your SMG-11. It's not the best idea, but it is easy to defend them because this one's always reinforced. That's where your rotational is. Put your deployable right against the wall here. That's not far enough, but you guys get the point. The deployable would be against the wall here, and that would protect them from being shot by the person out here once the breach does get open. Now, this is pretty easy to destroy if they come from this side and waste utility on it, but hey, they would have to waste utility on your deployable. Plus, you're protecting your teammate with the ACOG that can hopefully fend them off for as long as they possibly can. And you could also help them by this green box right here, which is, this is kind of your main objective. If you realize that garage is being taken, you can hop up here and see a deep line of sight into here. As for our smoke throws, these are pretty simple. All you have to do is just throw them on this top here. Once you're able to throw them up on that wall, sorry, I missed that throw there, but once you're able to throw them up over that wall, over the CCTV barrier, you should be able to deploy it here and basically make this whole person smoked out. They can't really move at all, and their only logical rotation is to run back out of sight or try to hurdle over this and come over here. So that's another reason to have the shield right here, is because they'll have to either squeeze through or hurdle over and then get exposed to you in this way. So it's pretty much a lose-lose for them and a win-win for you. Plus you have more smokes there. Now if they come this way, pretty simple as well. Just smoke it off when they're trying to push you. And when they actually get in, you should be able to fend them off with the shotgun, or at least something of some sort. You should be able to fend them off. Your whole goal though is just not to die, as always with smoke. Just take as much time as you can and try to wait till the end to use these smokes. But if you're about to die, then go ahead and use them. If you have to use them, just go ahead and use them, but try to at least keep 1 to 2 ready for end round, where you can throw it over this top and smoke them out from this area. So now we're heading on over to the church arsenal room objective. So for this to work, you really need someone that you could trust to be on blue. So I understand if you don't have that, but you should have someone on blue, or reinforce this. Don't keep this soft. If someone's in there that you trust though, then it's fine. Keep it open because it's a good rotation, and usually someone should be playing in there somewhat, just to keep at least the team really together, because this is an important place that you guys need to hold. So someone should be holding that, and then you as a smoke, you should create a rotational here, or at least make it look like a rotational. You shouldn't actually use this as a rotational, because usually teams will have a sledge or something looking into these holes, but more so this is going to be a throwable hole, where we're going to set up our basic deployable right here, so we're still protected from the moto. And then if things get bad, we could always pick up the shield. So if these guys don't end up pushing here, because the common plant spots are usually here, maybe even sometimes like in this little cubby, anywhere around here, you should be able to throw a smoke through this hole pretty easily, and that's what this shield is protecting us from doing. So we could kind of just throw something into this corner. Anytime anyone's doing anything, we could just throw that, detonate that, and get them out of these corners and stop them from planting, which is easy. Now instead, if they go over here, this is easy. We pick up the shield, and I like to set this thing right here so it protects us from if they push this way. If they get this open, which extremely possible, Habana could come in here and just blow this open, but you have this shield right here protecting you from this way. Now if they push the other way, like this way, one strategy is of course just to bop them right when they walk in the door. Another one is to come through this and protect your hallway, blue, etc., and just use this or these barrels right here as protection. So this is the easy setup. Just remember to throw your smokes. Don't come around here and throw them. Throw them onto the roof if you can, because that covers just about everything, if not more. Plus you don't expose yourself. So just get good at throwing those smoke grenades. That's the best thing you could possibly do. All right, I got one more that I use all of the time, and it is on bank. So I kind of set it up for you guys. So I start off by placing my shield at this place right over this hatch. So a big part of this is you want a Kaid here to be able to protect this hatch. If you can have this thing protected, you're golden. If not, it's not the end of the world. If they get it, you get to use the backup smoke spots, which are some that I'm going to show you. But most, I would say 9.9 out of 10 times, they're going to be planting here if they even do get the bomb down on the side. It's an easy objective to defend, and this just makes it 10 times easier. So this is good to pair up with like the mute strategy I showed you guys by putting the mutes here and having someone play behind here, and you're kind of just the last line of defense for the meantime. This is probably going to get opened. This is why I broke this. It should be reinforced though, but if it does get broken and someone tries to do a plant here, we have a counter for that. But most of the time they're going to destroy this in some way. Once they do that though, once you know that they're pushing you, you just get out of there. And then your backup is having this right here. You have some sort of lines through the top of this. This does not really ever need to be reinforced. Usually there'll be a mirror playing at least half of it, so the other half you could at least throw the C4s or throw the smokes at, so you can get a long angle here and just throw your smokes through there, pop them, and basically block off all the planting from this area here. The video cut out on the best part here, which is this little trick spot right here. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how you get a smoke here if this area isn't it doing it for you. If they're pushing, or if they're doing that Montaigne thing where they come in here, plant like this, and try to go outside, this will absolutely kill them. So they're doing cheese with the Montaigne, so you do something even cheesier by smoking through the vault. So you're gonna want to come up here and throw this thing so it's on the roof, on this little ledge right in the corner of the gold area. So what this is gonna do is once you detonate it, you guys see right here, if you're trying to plant right here, you are going to be smoked out. So this is great if anyone's planting anywhere around here. They're going to take full ticks through the wall, which is absolute cheese, but it works. And until they fix it, I think we should have full right to actually use it. So that's exactly what we do. That's why all these strategies, or multiple of these strategies, include something like that. So anyways, that is all that we got for advanced smoke strategies. If you guys enjoyed, like the video, thank you very much for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.